Hello and welcome, Gemini, to your November 2022 astrology and tarot forecast. Thanks for joining me and viewing the content. So we're going to have quite a deep dive into the astrology first as we're waiting for your messages to come through with the tarot. And then we're going to have a look at an oracle card, an energy card, and a planet, sign, and house that may be influencing your energetics and frequencies at this time. For some, not all, it's a general reading. So take what resonates and drop what doesn't. Don't stress. It's not for you, it's not for you. So while we're waiting for your messages, Gemini, let's have a look at the astrology. So the first 3 weeks of November, we've got the sun in Scorpio. So for our Geminis, it's all about the 6th house. So you could be concentrating on your work, your health, your fitness, getting your paperwork and all things that need to be organized in shape, including your environment. So it's a busy time in the 6th house. It's the house of things that you do daily. Could have a lot of pet issues going on as well, getting new pets passing on. It's part of our journey. And health of pets. So these are loud topics and aspects that may be influencing you in the first 3 weeks of November. And on the 22nd of November, it shifts into Sagittarius, which is your 7th house, which is opposite you. So it's about others, collaborations, contracts, legalities, all to do with other people and how you work with them, but a lot of outside influences and consideration of others and partnerships of all kinds. All right, Gemini, so a few key aspects and transits that I'll be discussing with the astrology as we're waiting. We have on the 8th of November a full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. This is your 11th house, 12th house Gemini. 12th house is to do with all things unseen from others. So it's your psychology. It's all things to do with esoteric workings, your intuition. It's your feelings, your emotions. It's your internal body. It's to do with other people. It can be to do with health as well. So it's a standout time for all things inward and private and quite personal to you. It could also point to significant endings or the need to end some significant things in your life. So the full moon lunar eclipse in your 12th house is quite a significant time for you, Gemini. So take note of that date. Then we have another important transit is Venus going into Sagittarius, which is your 7th house. So for you, Gemini, we've got some really nice energy that's favorable here in regards to relationships. So it could be a nice time for you to meet new people, team up with other people, looking at your finances tied in with other people as well. So it's quite an expansive, abundant time as well for you, Gemini. But Venus going into your 8th house is always going to be a favorable thing for your 7th house, for your finances and stability with others. So you could be getting new contracts. You could be establishing some more solid ground in a workplace or a group dynamic that you're involved with. So that's a lovely transit for you coming your way in November. The next thing we've got is Mercury, your ruler, moving into Sagittarius again on the 17th of November, which is your 7th house. So communications, what's on your mind? It's all things of other people, collaborations, contracts, partnerships, looking at long-term partnerships. So these could be very loud topics for you this month indeed. There's next thing to note, we have the sun moving into Sagittarius on the 22nd of November, again, your 7th house. So for the next 4 weeks, moving into December till the 22nd of December, excuse me, we've got 4 weeks of the sun going into your 7th house. So again, all things to do with partnerships, all things to do with others. So a very significant shift for everyone, but for you, it's your 7th house with others. On the 23rd of November, you have the new moon in Sagittarius. So new beginnings in relationships, contracts, partnerships, legalities as well. So that's a nice shift as well that's coming through with the transit with the moon. And the moon deals with our emotions and our feelings. So just take note of that. And also on the 23rd of November, we have Jupiter going direct in Pisces. Pisces for you, I believe, is your 10th house. So Jupiter going direct in your 10th house talks to expansion in your workplace. So you could be taking on more responsibility in your workplace. You could be more visual in your workplace. It's also to do with your status, how you're viewed. So you could be very visual in the public at this time with Jupiter going direct in Pisces, your 10th house. So if you've been working behind the scenes within your workplace, trying to establish good rapport or wanting to build on your career, this is a very favorable time for things to start moving in the direction that you've been working on. Okay, so that's the transits that stand out most for me for the month of November. So take that all in stride. It's always good to go reflect when you get to December on the month with the videos and see how they affected you or didn't. But all the transits affect everyone differently on the planet and can hit your chart very differently. So enjoy that information and enjoy your 7th house. So very significant for partnerships, legalities, other people, relationships going on. Very, very loud for you, Gemini, in the month of November. Okay, so we open up the first week of November with the card of the 6 of Cups. Oops, I just dropped. Thank you. So the 6 of Cups talks to reflecting on the past. It's also a card of reconciliation. But this card talks to feeling good about looking back, you know, just reflecting, having a think about the cups side of your life, which is your feelings and your emotions. So there could be a resurfacing of feelings and emotions with someone from the past coming back into your frequency or environment. Could be just a nice time of feeling very childlike and happy and content. The 6 of Cups is always a very gentle, lovely, reflective energy. And then we have the second week of November with the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man can represent the sun sign of Pisces, male or female, it being a general read. If it's not a person, the Hanged Man represents a necessary sacrifice for the greater good or something of more importance. So you may be letting go of some things that you know are outdated or you're done with. So it's a very karmic cleansing card of understanding you must release to allow what it is that you would like your experience to be in reality. So it's almost like a real authentic time of self-assessment of yourself, your relationships with others and work and all facets of your life. And the Hanged Man in Pisces with Jupiter moving in direct in Pisces, your 11th house talks to, yes, Jupiter going direct in Pisces, your 10th house. The second week can be very significant for some possible changes that you may need to look at quite honestly with yourself within the workplace or how you're viewed in public. So almost like a self-checking going on here in the second week of November. The third week, we have the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands talks to upskilling of some sort to keep in line and keep on target with competition in the workplace. It's also a card of standing your ground, or you may be asked to speak within a public place or workplace in regards to what has been going on, your performance, etc. You may be having a significant meeting, is what I'm getting there in the 3rd week of November. And then the 4th week, we're still waiting for the message. Thank you. And it is ending the month of November with the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands talks to Knights go on missions and they want to complete them. So they're passionate, they're ready to go, they're ready to fire. And Wands is about energy, optimism, and it's usually to do with our own energy and optimism and how we're going to move forward. But the Knight of Wands can represent the sun sign of Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. So one of those sun signs may be significant to you as well. But the Knight of Wands talks to the possibility of changing residence or changing something up in the workplace. So a change of work or change in your work or what you do as a project. There might be something new coming your way that you are moving towards anyway. But it's optimism, it's excitement. So there's optimism and excitement for work or a change of residence or a change in general here, Gemini. All right, so let's get some clarification of the 6 of Cups, please, for the month of November 2022 for our lovely Geminis, our mutable Geminis. Thank you. 6 of Cups. This is reflection, quite a happy card. Possible reconciliation, something from the past you're reflecting on. It's to do with our emotions and our feelings. And it's with the 9 of Cups. So you could be having, you know, there could be something from the past that's making you quite happy here, or a reconciliation with someone from the past. It's like a wish coming true card with the 9 of Cups. And reflecting on all things that you've been very grateful for. So it's like you're reflecting on how lucky you are and how things have turned your way. So this is a lovely combination to open up the month of November, Gemini. So possibly a reconciliation with someone from the past is going to make you extremely happy, or just a feeling of all things good and having all your boxes ticked is what I get with this combination. So that is awesome. Awesome way to open up. Let's have a look with the Hanged Man. A significant Pisces around you. If not, is to do with sacrificing something for the greater good for yourself. So an honest checking of your environment, of yourself, maybe realizing it's time to surrender something, move on, so something else can come through. It's also a time of not feeling rushed, feeling content and trusting in life and faith. And the Hanged Man is with the 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords represents conflict, our mental state, feeling hurt. It's time to rip that Band-Aid off and deal with whatever it is that you need to deal with on a intellectual plane, your communication, your mental space. So you may need to surrender to knowing that you may not be completely happy or completely, jovial about knowing that something has to, be dealt with here. So it's like surrendering to the inevitable is what I get with this combination of these cards, Gemini. And again, it's a general reading, so it's going to differ for everyone. The 3rd week, the 7 of Wands, is with the King of Wands. The King of Wands, represents the sun sign Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Again, a significant Leo, Sagittarius or Aries may be around you. If it's not a person, this King of Wands represents sales, marketing, inspiring others with your ideas and then jumping on board with you. So with the Seven of Wands, you may be realizing that you're in a competitive environment and you need to really get on top of your game to be in flow with your workplace or a project that you're working on. So standing your ground on what it is, standing your ground and defending your vision and your optimism here is a possibility in the third week of November. Okay, and then we close out the month with the Knight of Wands, a change of residence or workplace, changes in the home or workplace, but it's an optimistic change, it's a conscious change, and it's a journey you're ready to embark on. So heart, mind, and soul are aligned here for this new change. What is this coming Gemini's way, please? Closing out the month, moving into December with the Knight of Wands. What is this change of residence or workplace situation? Or again, the Knight of Wands represents the sun sign Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, so there may be someone around like that. And the Knight of Wands energy itself too can represent a lot of optimism and inspiration from someone, but not a lot of salt or groundedness to it. So just be aware of that energy too that may be around you. So it's like being influenced by someone who's quite like a court jester, or they're quite humorous, and you take it on and you get on board with this person, but there's not a lot of stability here is the energy of the Knight of Wands as well. So just a heads up there for you, Gemini. So the Knight of Wands, please. Changes, inspiration, optimism. What is this for our lovely Geminis? Closing up the month of November, moving into December. Thank you. And it's the Hermit, major arcana card in the tarot. The Hermit represents a sun sign of Virgo. There may be a Virgo around you as well that is significant. So there might be changes in the home or in the workplace associated with a Virgo is a possibility here with this combination of cards. The Hermit itself represents withdrawal and sacrificing things to know that with patience and time you can get to what you want to realize. So you may be realizing you may need to withdraw, take a step back, take your time, be more patient, because there's an ability here to build something quite significant with this Knight of Wands energy, which is work or a new residence. But understanding it takes time, and you've got the opportunity here to really take advantage is what's this combination is pointing to for me anyway. So taking your time, knowing that the change of residence or the change in the workplace is a real possibility to bring your fruits of your labor to a reality that is going to be long lasting. So it's a very wise energy, the Hermit, knowing you've got to put your nose to the grindstone and knowing why you're doing that, and the outcome is going to be beneficial for you as well. Okay, so let's have a look at an oracle card, please, Gemini. Interesting month, to be fair. And we have love. So that's a lovely energy and frequency that's with you in the month of November, Gemini. Love. So a significant relationship here is what the message is. That is going to be very dominant for you in this month of November. A significant relationship is going to be affected here for Geminis. Okay, let's have a look at the energy you're working with, please, Geminis. Thank you. That was quick. And the energy is indecision. So a choice is necessary here, which is quite in line with the tarot that has been forecasted here for the month of November. So take your time in making a decision. Give yourself the platform and space that you deserve to make an informed decision, or a decision that is going to have some weight to it. But take your time in doing this. There is no rush. If anything or anyone is rushing you to make a decision, always be cautious of that. You do you, take your time, because it has some weight. So there's options here, you know that. You may be a little frustrated with being foggy about some things, or a decision that you need to make. So just take your time. There's no rush here. Same with the Hanged Man. There's no rush. Take it easy. Okay, and the Hermit, to be fair. So let's have a look at your planet, your house, and your sign that may be with you in this month, assisting you. Gemini, thank you. It was quick. Aquarius. Significant Aquarius may be affecting you at this month. We need a planet, or we need a house. Thank you. We need a planet and we need a house. Thank you. We need a planet and we need a house. So Aquarius is the visionary, the rogue, the rebel, walks their own walk, does what they feel inspired to do for the greater good of others, yet are very individual. So you could be around a lot of very future-oriented energies and frequencies is what I'm getting with Aquarius around you. So very future-oriented is this reading for sure. And the planet is Pluto. Unearthing. Getting right down into the mud. Transforming something that is outdated, archaic, and doesn't need to be in your frequency anymore. This is change. This is a karmic change. This is huge and may be necessary for you, Gemini, in the month of November. But Pluto is all about rising from the ashes, leaving things behind that you know are not necessary, letting go, letting things die naturally that have taken up too much of your time. Very cleansing energy of Pluto. And the sign is, no, we don't want the sign, do we? We want the house, excuse me. So we need a house, please, for our lovely Geminis, beautiful mutable twins. Thank you. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a house, please. Thank you. Third house. Your immediate environment may be significantly affected or a lot busier than usual. This is a lot to do with trade, marketing, sales, you developing sales for yourself. Also busyness with siblings. So you can have a significant Aquarius sibling, things transforming between the two of you, or clearing the air about something, or could be finances too here. But the energy I'm getting with this combination for you, Gemini, is a transformation in your friends, your environment, your large groups or organizations that you're associated with, communication about that, a lot of talk, a lot of traveling associated with friends, also with large groups and institutions as well, is what I get with the third house because of Pluto being so expansive. So that is the energy I'm getting in regards to these three. But you take what you want to take from the reading and drop what doesn't resonate. Okay, Gemini, an interesting month to say the least for you. I think there's some significant changes that need to happen. And obviously you'll be aware of them. It'll be different for everyone. But, you know, it's like it's almost like a cleansing energy here. It's a letting go, and it's just knowing that there's bigger things to deal with and dropping the distractions and the idiosyncrasies and time to, knuckle down into what it is that you actually are trying to achieve and making that a reality with as much room and less distraction as possible for you. So be precious with yourself, quieten down your mind, take it easy, especially on the 8th of November with that full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus for you, your 12th house. Okay, Gemini, so that's your month of November. I do hope you have a fabulous one, and I will see you in December. Thanks again for viewing.